What's going on, guys? Good to see you. I know it's been a while since I've done a video. I had an incident this morning, minor incident, where this doesn't usually happen, but I thought I should use this to talk about what I do. And it's mainly involving my inventory system. And for the most part, I stay pretty organized. I've got a really good tracking system with it, but occasionally it breaks down. And this morning it broke down temporarily, and I'll explain that more so in a little bit. First off, if you know me already, my name is Jason. I'm a full-time reseller, but I'm also known as the spreadsheet guy, the guy that's got the spreadsheet to help resellers keep track of your business. Okay, so first off, let's talk about the elephant in the room. You guys know I don't wear glasses. So why am I wearing glasses today? Well, and you don't have to be a reseller to know this, spending a lot of time looking at your computer for whatever reason is horrible for your eyes. And that blue light can really cause eye strain. And I just got to where I was like, I got to do something because my eyes just feel horrible at the end of the day. So I went online and ordered a pair of glasses on Amazon. And the great thing is I've been using these for 3 or 4 weeks. These were cheap glasses that I got. It drastically reduces the light going to your eyes. So at the end of the day, you feel a lot better. And I'm not just saying this for this video. These have been a game changer. I'll link these below in the description in case you're interested. Of course, I'll get a kickback, but I want to make sure that you know that there are tools out there that will help you in your daily business. So if you go to Amazon, you'll find this brand here. Cool thing is you actually get 2 pairs. You've got many different styles to choose from. So you can go down and choose which colors or styles you'd like based on your preferences. They're cheap glasses, but they are great at reducing eye strain, reducing that blue light. And at the end of the day, I'm still tired from working all day, but my eyes feel so much better. So go over to Amazon, click that link below, and purchase some glasses to help you fight against blue light. Yes. Okay, so let's talk about why you're here. You want to learn maybe some tips and techniques for creating a system, an inventory system that keeps you organized. Organization is huge. If you have a lot of items, especially if you're a new reseller, you're growing, your systems are probably going to change to fit what you need to thrive in your business, to know how to be efficient. So I'm going to show you my system, and just know it's just one of many. Everyone has their own way of doing things, but hopefully when you see what I do, this will help give you some suggestions for things that you could do. And you can obviously apply any of these that you want in your own business. You can steal what I do if you'd like, or you can tweak it to make it your own. So I have over 1,500 items. I'm a full-time reseller. You can see a few items here. I've got shoes behind me on the wall. So everything's primarily in my garage. I have 50 to 60 bins on different shelving racks. And so what I do, and I won't show you that today, but what I do is I basically will label each bin. So I've got a letter and a number. So my bottom row is A1 to A8. I've got 8 bins all labeled A1 to A8. If you go up, I've got B1 to B8 and so on and so forth. That's just how I do it. I use a letter and a number. You can do 2 letters, all numbers, however you want to do it, make it your own. So when I'm listing items, they go into a specific bin. But I want to show you exactly how I track that, both in eBay or on the platforms that I'm selling on, as well as in my spreadsheet. And if you're using my spreadsheet, you can follow along and see how I do this. So I'll share my screen with you so you can see that. Shameless plug, if you don't have a spreadsheet and you're looking for one as a reseller, check down below in the links. I've got one, and it's got over 500 5-star reviews. A lot of people out there using it, love it, and I hear nothing but great things all the time. So it's a tool that I created to help you get on top of your business and to know your numbers and stay organized. So let's go to my spreadsheet now. So I'm going to show you the inventory tab here. Again, if you're using my sheet, you already know what this looks like, but you know that I have a specific column for the place where you're putting those items that you're selling. So on the spreadsheet, I enter that code, that specific code that is unique to my business. You can see here, I've been working on B8 recently, which is behind me. That's B8. And as I list items online, I come into my spreadsheet, I enter that information, and then I put the bin that it's going in the garage. If we jump ahead to the bins tab, you can see a few different things going on here, especially if you have my sheet. It may look a little different than yours, but I've got certain things that I do to help me understand where I am in my business. So these are all my bins, and it will tell you how many specific items I have in that bin. So B8 so far has 25 units in that bin. I can look at any bin in my garage right here on my sheet and see how many items should be in that bin. That's kind of what the spreadsheet looks like. Let me show you my eBay. Now I sell on a few different platforms, but I'll just show you eBay, for example. When I'm looking at the custom label SKU field, remember that the custom label, the SKU, only you see. So anyone shopping in your store isn't gonna see this. This is solely for you. So you can include notes, you can include how much you paid for the item. You can put anything in there that you want that will help you in your business. What I do is put the bin and the day that I listed it. So if we just take this top one, for example, you can see this Patagonia fleece is in bin D8. And I listed this at the end of November in 2023. This gives me an idea, obviously, of where it is, but it also helps me to know when someone sends an offer, how long I've had this item. If I've had it for over a year, I'll be more prone to accept a lower offer than if I just listed it a week ago. So that's why I put the listed date in there. So to stay organized, as you've seen, I've got two places where I put the bin that I just listed that item in. Custom SKU field on eBay and on my spreadsheet in the bin column. Both places will tell me the same thing, hopefully. Okay, so my spreadsheet tells me that an item is in B8. eBay tells me that an item is in B8. If that item sells, when I go to B8, I pull it. It should be right there, right? This almost always works. It hardly ever breaks down. I can count on my two hands how many times over the last 8 years that this has failed me. But this morning, I went to pull an item, pulled open the bin, and it wasn't there. I double checked, I went through, there were only like 12 items in the bin. It wasn't there. The last thing you want to do when you have close to 50 or 60 bins in your garage is go through every one by one, looking for this item. Now, I have had to do that before, and it is horrible. It takes a long time. It's not fun. So I want to kind of go over a few things that you can do before you have to resort to going one by one through each bin. So what I always do is I check eBay custom SKU. That's how I find it. I pull up the eBay app and there's the custom SKU right there. And so when I go to my garage, I open up the app and just one by one, I go down the list, pulling out all these items. Again, got to this one item and it wasn't in the bin that it said on eBay. So what I always do next when that first check fails me is go to my spreadsheet. So I went to my spreadsheet and you can see this item right here. The Gotcha Sport shirt was the item that I sold that I was looking for. And it actually said the bin that it was in was F1. On eBay, it said E5. On the spreadsheet, it said F1. I don't know how this happened, but right away it's telling me, oh, go check F1. So somehow I forgot to change the bin when I listed this item to the appropriate bin. So I went to check F1 and guess what, guys? It was there. So I only had to open up one other bin to find this by checking my spreadsheet. So it saved me a lot of time. I obviously didn't have to go through every bin. I didn't have to go through the 50 or 60 bins. But let's take this. What if I went to my spreadsheet and it said E5 and eBay said E5 and I open up E5 and it's not there? Let me tell you what I do next. I will go and search in my sales tab. So the tab that I'm in here in my spreadsheet, and see if I sold this item before. So I did a quick search. I listed this item in 2022. So I searched my 2022 sheet, I searched my 23 sheet, and I searched my 24 sheet. I didn't have any sales that matched that shirt, which tells me I have the shirt in my possession. I haven't sold it, so I need to find it. So basically I just went to the sales tab on each of those three sheets, 22, 23, 24. I did a control F, which is control find. I typed in Gotcha Sport, which is the title of the shirt, and nothing pulled up on either of those. So fortunately, like I said, I went to my spreadsheet and I found it in F1. My spreadsheet was different than eBay. Problem solved, crisis averted. But what if I went to E5? But what if I went to my spreadsheet and it also said E5, eBay said E5, and the shirt's not in E5? Well, here's what I would do next. Here's what I've done that has helped time and time again. So I go to my inventory. I find the date that I listed that item. So in this case, I listed this on July 15th of 2022. Yeah, it was an old item. It was over 2 years old. So I would scroll up to my spreadsheet and I would find around about the time that I listed this item. So if I'm looking at this here, I had some items that I listed. Well, I have one here. A lot of these items have sold, but I've got one here, 714, that I listed in E5. So you can see I was around mid-July 2022, I was working on bin E5. So I would just go to a few items around this listing and look at what bins I was working on at that time. So on 6/29, I was working on bin D3. On 8/1, I was working on bin E2. And I would check those bins because maybe I put it in one of those bins and forgot to change the custom SKU in eBay. So I'd go to D3, I'd go to E2 and check and see if it's there. Now, a lot of times this has worked. I run through all these checks and see if I can find it. And most of the time I find the item by now. But if I've gotten to this point and it hasn't worked, I do what I've had to do 2 or 3 times in my full 8 years reselling online. I have to go through each bin individually and hopefully never have to do that. It sucks, but you got to do what you got to do to find the item, right? So those are some things that you can do if your system fails you. And then lastly, for those that, I'll just include this as kind of a throw-in, especially for those who have my spreadsheet, you are familiar with the bins tab. Whether you use it or not is up to you, but you're familiar with why it's there. So the reason that I use this tab is mainly to keep like organization and quality control, as well as tell me when I'm going to pull a new bin to start listing and throwing items into, which bin has the least amount of items. So if I'm looking at my bins tab, I'm looking for bins that have single digit units, like F6 has 8 units in it. So that means it's got a lot of room for me to put some more stuff in it. So I'd probably go in and pull bin F6 and then start working on that one. Rather than going into my garage and looking at every single bin to find which one has the least amount of items. I don't need to pull them all out. I can just look at my sheet. That's number one. So it quickly tells me which bins have the least amount. Once I have that bin out, so let's say I went to my garage, I got F6, I'm going to start listing things to throw in that bin now. Before I list anything and put it in there, I want to make sure that this bin has what it says it has. So according to my sheet, you can see here, it says I should have 8 units in there. So I'm going to go in and count the units. I should get 8. If I don't get 8, I've got a problem. If I get 7 units or less, that means that I sold some items that I didn't account for in my sheet, and I need to go track that down. If I have 9 or 10 units in there, that means I've got some items in there that are not on my sheet, and I need to track that down. So what I'll do is, for F6, I'll pull up my spreadsheet, and I'll do a search on the inventory tab. So I'll go back to inventory. I'll do Control F. I'll type in F6. You can see it's going to do a search and it's going to pull up those 8 items, and I can quickly scroll through and find what those items are. And then once I've done that, I go to eBay. So I'm going to do a search based on custom label. I'm going to do contains. So it's going to search all my listings in the custom label, the SKU field, and it's going to search for items that contain F6. And then when I scroll down, you'll notice that I have 7 listings, but I've got 8 total units because one of those is multi-quantity. I'm doing quality control every time I pull a bin to see my spreadsheet says F6 has 8 units. Does eBay also show that I have 8 units? And this doesn't happen very often. Most of the time the numbers match and I'm good to go, and then I can move on and start listing. But occasionally there's a discrepancy and I have to figure it out. And every once in a while, I find that an item is in a bin that's not listed on eBay, and I can go ahead and list it. What good is it doing if it's sitting in my bin, not listed on eBay? So I get it listed up so that it can sell. It just helps keep some quality control in the business, keep things organized and running efficiently. Okay, so that's pretty much how I keep track of my inventory system, and then what you can do when that system fails you. So if you have any questions, reach out. I'm happy to help in any way that I can. And again, if you're looking for my spreadsheet, maybe you realize that this tool will be valuable for your business, click below in the description. You'll see some links down there and it will take you right to that sheet to my Etsy store. So thanks so much, guys. I hope you have a great day. And yeah, I'll catch you on another video. Bye.